Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather and welcome back to the 12 Cookies of Christmas. Today's cookie is not a cookie, but it is a Tri-Level Brownie. Now, if you've been in this channel for a little while and watched the other series of the 12 Cookies of Christmas, you know I did another brownie, but it was a 4-layer brownie and it had ganache and nougat and Rice Krispies and a brownie. It was to die for, but it was really hard. A lot of people are scared of making nougat. So today I decided to do a Tri-Level brownie and show you how easy it is and how delicious it is and how perfect. It's so pretty. You're gonna die at how easy and perfect this is. And we're gonna make it in the air fryer. So if you're ready for this adventure, let's get started. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into the first layer. We're gonna put our oats, our brown sugar, our flour, our baking soda, and our salt into this bowl. And then we are gonna give it a good mix. Let's mix in our melted butter. And basically what we are doing here is we're kind of making I wanna say it's like an oatmeal cookie or oatmeal shortbread. It's mostly oatmeal cookie-ish. If you wanted to put some chocolate chips in this layer, you definitely could to just give it an extra zing. But we're just gonna do regular oatmeal cookie kinda ish for the bottom of the brownie. Okay, once it kinda looks all mixed and incorporated, we're going to press it into the bottom of an ungreased cookie sheet. Now, I say that, but if you remember, when we did those chewy Noels, oh, look at that. Oh, it kind of collapsed in the middle. Why is that? Oh, you know what? I bet you anything it's stuck on this side, but it didn't stick in the middle. So we kind of have, I said that next time I would put parchment in it even when it doesn't call for it. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I want to be able to lift them out and show you the beautiful layers. So you don't have to put parchment in, but I'm gonna put parchment in. Now, the other reason you might wanna use parchment is cutting inside of your bakeware will scratch it. So, I mean, maybe just put it in anyway. So put it all into your dish here with clean hands. Especially if you're gonna serve these to anybody else. We are going to press this into the bottom in a hard cookie layer. And you want it to be even because we want it to cook all at the same time. Okay, looking good. Now, I should have already been preheating my air fryer or my oven, but I'm not. So go ahead and preheat your air fryer or your oven now, because this needs to go in at 350 for 10 minutes. All right, while that's heating up, let's go ahead and get together our brownie. So into a bowl, we are going to add all the flour, and you can make this gluten-free, by the way. Just use any type of gluten-free flour that you want in both these layers. It works great. Your sugar, your cocoa powder, your salt, and your baking powder. All right, and we're gonna give that a good mix. And we're mixing it now before we put in the eggs and the oil, because once the eggs and the oil get in, the longer you mix, the tougher the brownie gets, and I want it to be a really awesome, like light and fluffy brownie. It's ready, so let's put it in. 10 minutes. Then into the middle of this, we're gonna add our eggs, our oil, or you can use butter, but just be aware that the butter will change the cooking times. Butter cooks a lot more quickly than oil. So now we're just going to mix that together just until everything is incorporated. Oh, okay. That is perfect. I see no flour left. Now, optional, remember those chocolate chips that I told you about? We're gonna put some in because it just makes the brownie a little more delicious. Yeah, about 1/4 cup. So 1 small stir, get those all over, and that guy is ready. Now, what do we do while that's cooking? Let's make the ganache. All right, the first thing we are going to do is cut up our chocolate because I want to melt it in the microwave. So I'm just gonna cut up this chocolate so that it melts easy. And this is unsweetened baker's chocolate. And did you know, this is a fun fact, did you know that baker's chocolate is not named because it's for baking? I mean, it is for baking, but it's actually the name of the family who puts it out. So, fun fact, I'm not exactly sure where I learned that or why I have that in my brain, but that's free. All right, that's all the chopping we're gonna do. So I'm gonna stick it back in my bowl. All right, and now we're going to put it in the microwave for 20 seconds and we're gonna stir it up, 5-second blasts until it's melted. All right, here after 30 seconds, it doesn't look like it did much, but as you start to stir it up, you will see it is starting to melt. It's done, so we're gonna pour this into our bowl here. All right, and to this, we're gonna add our softened butter, and we are gonna give that a good mix. Now, if your chocolate seizes up at this point because your butter is cold, you just need to get it back into the microwave for like 5 seconds so that it will completely melt. Oh, looking good. Oh yeah. So if you're doing it in your air fryer, just give it an extra 2 minutes. Looky that. All right, we're gonna slap that down for a moment. All right, now we are going to add our vanilla and our powdered sugar. And we're gonna mix that until we have frosting. Alternately, you could probably do this with a hand mixer or a stand mixer, but I don't wanna get it dirty today. Today is not the day. As you start to pull this together by hand, you'll be like, what the heck? That does not look like frosting. That's where your 2 tablespoons of hot water come in. I'm gonna go ahead and get my hot water. 1 tablespoon at a time in the hot water. Oh, did you see that melt? We're gonna switch to a whisk. We're gonna whisk this up until it's a pourable consistency. If you feel like you need to add a little bit more water, teeny tiny bit, like we're talking, oh, that's enough. Oh yeah, see that? Almost looks like pudding. 2 tablespoons plus a teaspoon in total. All right, let's bring back our cookie layer. Go ahead and get this going again on 350 for 25 minutes. Okay, now let's get the brownie layer onto the top of this pan. Now, because I use parchment, it's kind of a little squirrely, but that's okay. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Brownie layer going down. And with a knife or an offset spatula, we are just going to push this brownie into the corners. Perfect. All right, that's preheated, but the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim off any extra parchment because it kind of got a little too brown for my liking because it's probably too close to the heating element, and it's gonna go for 25 minutes. There's the timer, so let's go ahead and get it out. Now, I did put it in for an extra 2 minutes because I stuck my knife in and it wasn't quite there, but it was pretty much right on the knob, about 27 minutes. Bum, bum, bum. And we have some baked brownie. Now, if you made your icing ahead of time and it seized up just a little bit, you could put a little bit more hot water in, which I think I'm gonna do just to get it to be the pourable consistency. Perfect. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just going to pour this onto our hot brownie. And the residual heat in that brownie is going to help that to melt. Then, with your spatula or an offset spreader, whatever you have, you're going to coax this into all the places. Oh, stinking yeah. I cannot wait to taste and try and eat it. And once you're done smoothing it, we are going to leave it at room temperature for, well, until it's cool to the touch, and then we're gonna get it into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. It is time for the Tri-Level Brownie cut. Now, remember me talking to you about the parchment paper? Yeah, it's gonna be so much easier to lift out with parchment paper, right? Right. Look at that. And I am going to carefully remove my parchment paper, and then I'm going to slide it off onto my cutting mat. And I want to give you a close-up to see how that frosting did. All right, and look at that fudgy layer. Doesn't it look beautiful? Okay, this looks gorgeous. Looks gorgeous. So I'm just gonna cut off the edges so that I have nice, clean pieces. And all of this extra can be mine to eat. But you ready for this layer shot? Look at that. Cookie, brownie, fudge. But we want the money shot. And you don't want these are really rich. So you don't want them super huge. So we're gonna do maybe 1.5 inch pieces. Look at those layers. Fantastic. Okay, let's separate them. And we will cut them into perfect slices. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And it is so stinking delicious. You will not even believe that you never did this before. Oatmeal cookie, brownie, and fudge. Now we got our plate, and we're just going to set them on top of each other, next to each other. Don't stack them on top of each other. The frosting is real frosting, so it will stick to its brother. So like this would be a great size for the cookie plate, because then you have more to share. But this is the one I'm gonna eat right now. Oh my, that's so naughty. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is so easy. So easy, and a perfect addition to your cookie plate. And best of all, you can make it gluten-free if you want. It's easy. Just use your own type of gluten-free flour in that cookie base and a gluten-free brownie mix, or just substitute the flour, the regular flour, for gluten-free flour, and you're in the money. You guys, wasn't that easy? Super easy and super fun. All right, you guys, well, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I'm doing videos whenever I can get around to it, but right now we're doing the 12 cookies of Christmas. So we are doing cookies and brownies and bars, but they're mostly for cookie plates. So if you have some cookies that you need to cook in the next 2 weeks or so, stick around and see what's coming next. I can guarantee you, you're gonna find one that's gonna be your favorite cookie of all times. I know I did. All right, you guys, we will see you on the next adventure. Bye. Sugar shock incoming.